4. The land of Israel is his land. Her capital, Jerusalem, is his city. Yep, God does care about real estate. He has made his claim. He has put his name there. Psalm 132, he's chosen Zion. This is my dwelling place forever. Yes, is it a spiritual reality? Of course. Can it have physical counterpart? Absolutely. The next one. Israel's king is God's chosen king for all the earth. Wow. Isaiah 2, they shall go up from among the nations. They say, come, let us go up to the Lord, to the house of Jacob, and we shall learn of his ways. The law shall go out of Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Let us learn of his ways, meaning we don't know them. Let us learn. We shall come. Let us go to a particular place to learn. It's not, I'm sorry, that's not spiritual language. There's nothing there that says it's, okay, allegory, spiritualize this language. There's nothing there that says that gives you any impetus or there's no mandate or obligation or, nothing forcing you to do it that way. Take it as it is. Take the language as it is. The King of the Jews died to atone for the sins of the world. The King of the Jews died. The King of the Jews. No other king. So, and Dan Kruger raises this in his book, who is your Christ? And even that word Christ, he was not a big fan of the word Christ. He doesn't feel the word Christ, though again, it's a word that's used in translation, that it really, his challenge is, does Christ refer you back to this Jesus, to the one who's the King of the Jews, to the Messiah, to the Son of David, to the one to inherit the promises, or does it evoke something that's separate, that now belongs to Christianity? You got it? Who's your Jesus? Is he the Jesus of the Bible, or is he the Jesus of the system that many of you have brought up with? I wasn't, Fred and I were brought up in that system. We were brought up in another system of indoctrination. And you were brought up in another system of indoctrination. The Jewish people are called to serve God and be his priests for the nations. The new covenant is made between the God of Israel and the people of Israel. This is true. It's not made with any other people. It's like that verse in Daniel that Reggie loved, Daniel 2:44. The kingdom shall not be left to another people, to any other people. It's specified to come through a people for the world. Always remember the purpose of Israel and the centrality of the Jew is never just for themselves. It's always to bless everyone. Always, always, always. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. And I played around with that verse a little bit, maybe a little bit too daring, but I think I've often substituted for God so loved the world that he gave his other national Son up. He gave Israel. He gave him up for you, right? Cast him aside so that there'd be space. I don't understand how God works exactly, but obviously there are equal weights and balances, and there's space, and space has to be created for people to fill, and then a door closes, and then there's another space, and he deals with open doors and closed doors, and he's mysterious. But he had to cast aside a people, a beloved people for your sake, for a time. So the new covenant in Jeremiah 31, verses 31 through 34, is made with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. The next is Israel is God's kingdom, the only context for redemption. It's the only context. We've tried to come up with another context. We've lost the context for the kingdom. So you end up with ethereal kingdoms, and you end up with vaporous Greek ideas of a non-embodied kingdom. And even we lose sight of the fact that we're going to have spiritual bodies. They're spiritual, but they're bodies. We lose the Hebraic sense of again, I spoke about this the other day, the natural and physical. in unity, not as opposing things, not as things that hit each other and fight each other, but they live together. Yeah, they do. Nothing wrong with that. Gentiles who recognize the sovereignty of Israel's king are brought into Israel's commonwealth through Israel's new covenant. Hallelujah. What a wonderful thing. Yeah. Whosoever come, bring them in from the highways and the hedges. The Syrophoenician woman that, again, Reggie loves to allude to she wanted healing for her daughter, I think, or herself. And Jesus said, "I've come to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." He's not fooling around. He's telling the truth. I've come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the dogs. You want to eat the crumbs from. He said, "It's not good to give the children's bread to the dogs, to the Gentiles. But even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." She's saying, "I'm okay with the crumbs."
I'm okay with being called a dog. She was even saying, "I'm okay with being called a dog."
Jesus, you're identifying me as me. I'm okay with me. But what me wants to be part of you. And to be part of you, I'm okay with eating these crumbs, and I'm okay with taking what's falling from the commonwealth of Israel. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Yes. This is not about anyone being up or down or any of this stuff. Any better than, nothing like that. It's just knowing the doorway. Jesus said, "I'm the door." Jesus is the door. I'm the doorway to the sheepfold. And he says there are, a key verse in John 10, there are others whom I must call to belong to this flock, implying that he came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And he's saying, there are others who I must call, and then there shall be one flock, one fold. But he's not talking about something new. Think about it. You're standing there listening to Jesus in the first century, and you think he's talking about something new that he started? This man of Israel, this man of history, of David, of Abraham. He's saying that there's going to be, I've got others, the Gentiles who are called, and they will come in, and there shall be one flock in Israel. And it'll have lots of Gentiles in it, more than you can imagine. The law of God's kingdom has been given to Israel. That's why even these issues that we talked about, Ezekiel, those controversial issues in Ezekiel 40 to 48, the law of God's kingdom, the expression of the law in its totality. As Adolf Saphir says, in the millennium, the law and all of its health, positive, encouraging, healthy aspects about it will be seen for the first time for what it really is. You know that? That's going to be okay. It's going to be good. And Jews, again, will not do it in any kind of achieving anything for themselves, but just say, I'm just thinking about the weeping and the thanking constantly as they're offering up the sacrifices. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Yeshua. Constantly, over and over again. The good news is the message of that coming kingdom, the coming kingdom of the law that will come. We heard it's going to come out of Zion, Jerusalem, and be given to Israel as the focal one. And God will dwell on the earth in Jerusalem in the midst of the Jewish people. Salvation is from the Jews, he says at the end. So, I want to encourage you to take out the stones, prepare the highway, to be an Elijah people, to prepare the way. This is a major part of your preparation. We'll be getting these understandings of these days pretty seated deep down in you, so that it springs up very naturally and becomes part of your makeup, your DNA, so to speak, who you are. Because it is who you are. It is. This is what we're describing here, I believe, is who you are. And disorienting, but go with it. I don't think you'll be harmed, and I think everything that we aspire to achieve and see happen will be done through the efficacy of the Lord's grace operating in us. He's always, I labor by the Lord's labor in me, and everything that will be done. But if we're going to be really prepared for the days ahead, days of such chaos, such calamity, but yet we be islands of sanity in the midst of clarity and sanity, peace and calm, composure, and a rock, little Christ, and little rock.
Mark, I can't help thinking, do you remember the way art used to salivate over the word Hebraic?
Yeah.
So what you're asking us is to become Hebraic.
Sure.
And I don't really know all that that means, but I understand that if we're any good to Israel in these days, we need to cultivate that, and that's what
Yeah.
we're intending to do.
And it doesn't mean we're going to start, take the tables down and start doing the really folk dances and all of that cultural stuff that people often think that's what I need to do. But it's totally
Not
different.
Jewish, it's Hebraic.
Hebraic, right? Yeah, our had a talk like that, was it Hebraic, not Jewish.
Right.
That's something very deep, something that was deep in the soul of Jesus himself,
Right.
as a Hebrew of the Hebrews. So, bless the Lord.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
I want us all to get out and stretch for a minute.